I'm in the high volume lead generation business, generating leads in categories like auto insurance and financial products. And I have tested every form builder out there. I've tested Gravity Forms, Formidable Forms, Ninja Forms, WP Forms, all of these forms. And the one that I have came back to and used for about the last 2 years now is Fluent Forms. And in the last year alone, I've generated over 30,000 leads through Fluent Forms on my WP sites, and I'm going to show you a little bit about Fluent Forms and how I use it and why I think it is so awesome. It is literally the best form builder out there, bar none. So I'm not going to go through the kind of run through of the whole Fluent Forms website type of thing. I'm going to show you how I use it just through my own site. So first of all, I like multi-step forms, and you can create multi-step forms very easily in here. If we go create new, we can start doing multi-step forms. Now multi-step forms, I'll show you what they are when we put some fields on here. Let's just do this. Let's drag and drop. So we put name, email, probably aren't going to need country, but let's just go radio field or multiple choice. We can put, where's a phone number? There's a lot of fields you can put in here. So phone number, and then maybe address. Right, so you get all these fields in here and it generates a form. Right, so here's our form in preview. But to a user, when they just come up to one big form like this, it seems overwhelming and they don't really want to get started in it. So it's much better if you break it up, and that's where Fluent Forms makes it incredibly easy to create these multi-step forms. So we can just come in here and we can put form step, and we can put another form step, and we can just keep breaking them all up. There we go. Right? So now when we do it and we save it, we preview it, we get something like this. Right? So user puts in all their information, and then they can just kind of chug along through it. Now, while this doesn't look too pretty here, let me show you what this looks like with a little bit of CSS customization. Now, there are some things that you can do in here to change it. So, I mean, you can kind of change the formatting and stuff and all the styling and stuff. But with some little CSS, let me just show you what one of our form looks like on mobile right here. Okay, now coming back to this form, if we come in here into editor and we come to the first step of the page, this is a really cool functionality. We can enable auto page change for single radio field. So let's enable that, and just to make things simpler, I'm going to pull this one up higher, and let me just pull a page break up here, right? So now when we click on it, the user doesn't have to click next if it's just a multiple choice radio field. So if I save that form and then we come back here, oops, don't want to do that. Let's close out of that preview, save, preview, right? And now we put my name in. Now watch when we come to the next slide, right? Right here, it's got our radio field, which could be any question we, could want it to have. And we just click the option, yes, it goes right on, which is really cool. So that helps advance the user through it and makes your conversion rate a lot higher when you've got a lot of questions in the form, okay? So now with these multi-step forms, you can also do conversational forms. And let me just save this here as multi-step example. And we'll just come back here and we'll go to new forms. And right from here, you can see a conversational form right there. Create smart form UI. And this is like a type form. All right, so let's just preview this. We'll save it, we'll preview it. Right, and you'll see it takes over the full screen like this. And then the user can just hit their information and just keep going on. So it creates this nice, clean conversational form. And like the multi-step forms, you can put all of the other fields in there. So if we come back here, oops, clicking on the wrong thing. Or maybe I'm not. Right, we can put radio fields in here. We can put drop down in here, the whole 9 yards, and then you can customize everything. Right, like we can do element label. What is your first name? So personally, I use the multi-step forms more because that's just what I've been doing longer. But these conversational forms here are pretty good, and I know a lot of people are having very high conversion rates with it. And there is a way, when you're in the paid version and the pro version, to remove this powered by Fluent Forms thing out of here. I haven't really looked into it, and I don't use conversational forms a ton. I actually just about 3 days ago just started running my first set of ads into a conversational form, and I'm going to see how it goes. Now, when I set new ads up, I let them run for a week, so at 3 days in, I don't know exactly how it's performing. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped to get that up and rolling. So we got the multi-step forms, we got conversational forms, we got auto advance. Next thing is the reporting. So when we come in here to all forms, and we see all forms, mind you, in this demo setup that I've got here on Momentum in Business, we haven't done anything, but you can come in here, you can click on the entries and view them. And view visual report, it'll show you breakdowns of what users selected, right? So like if you had a question in there, like how much revenue does your business do, right? 0 to 500,000, 500 to a million, 1 million to a million 5. You could break it out and see exactly what the users have selected on at each one. So that's really cool. And then you can also collect payments in here. So in integration modules, right here, you can come in here and you can integrate this with Stripe. Where is Stripe? There are a ton of modules in here. Just go Control F. Where's Stripe? I don't see it, but I know you can do it. Stripe. Modules. Well, I guess this thing's going to make a liar out of me here. No, I'm not lying. You can really integrate this with Stripe. Somehow in here, you can integrate this with Stripe. I don't use it too much. I used it once when I was actually selling a service, like an upsell, inside of a web form that we were trying to capture. So that was pretty cool, and we had that working, and that worked out very well. I had that set up with Stripe, but I haven't used that one in quite some time. Just know that you can integrate this with Stripe to collect payments and donations. And it's really, really easy to do. And then finally, the big thing that I use here, and this is the most important for me, I think by far, is the webhook. So if we come back to all forms, and we go to any of these, we can go settings. And then where's webhook at? Marketing and CRM. Yeah, what is it? Configure modules. Here we go. Webhooks, right? So we can go currently enabled. We can enable webhooks on it. And then we can come back to this, and we should see the webhook in here. There's webhook, right? So now what's cool about the webhook is we can push this data out of the form and into other CRM platforms. So in my case, generating leads, that might be into our lead distribution software, that might be right into our client CRMs. We could not function and operate without this webhook functionality in the form, and Fluent Forms has it all built right in. So that's an overview of Fluent Forms and why I love it. I've tested all of the other form builders out there. I do a ton with form builders and lead generation, and well, ultimately I have settled on Fluent Forms for the last 2 years. And I review all of the other platforms out there every few months to see if there's something new or some kind of big improvement. And Fluent Forms is what I keep coming back to. So if you want to sign up to Fluent Forms, look for a link below this video. Yes, it's probably going to be an affiliate link, but that's what helps support the channel. It helps keep me sharing all of my insight on lead generation, digital marketing, e-business, and in some cases, WordPress plugins. That's a wrap on this one, guys. I'm signing off.